The Denver Nuggets won their first ever NBA Finals last season, breaking a 47-year drought as an NBA franchise. It didn't seem like much of a challenge for them either, as Denver steamrolled the competition to the tune of a 16-4 playoff record. The 16-4 mark is tied for the second best of any champion in the 21 years since the first round changed to a best-of-7 format. The only champs with a better mark were the 2017 Warriors at 16-1. Not only was it the culmination of 47 years of waiting for the franchise, but multiple years of waiting for the current core. After trading for Aaron Gordon at the 2021 NBA trade deadline, the team went 21-7 down the stretch, and it looked like they were on the verge of making a championship push. But those hopes would be crushed towards the end of the regular season. On April 12th in a game against the Warriors, emerging star guard Jamal Murray fell to the ground following a layup attempt and immediately grabbed his left knee. The diagnosis came in just a day later. Murray had torn his ACL and would miss the rest of the season and potentially all of the next season as well. The Nuggets did finish the season strong and won their first round matchup, but fell to the Phoenix Suns in the conference semifinals. Murray ended up missing all of the next season as well, and another one of the core four on the team, Michael Porter Jr., only played 9 games. But Murray and Porter returned to start last season, and with the core they built finally healthy, they ran through the regular season and the playoffs, and claimed what they deserved, their first NBA title. Now they're looking at the incredibly difficult task of repeating as champions. But with the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic, an all-time playoff riser in Jamal Murray, and the entire starting 5 returning, it feels as if they should be favorites to do it once again. Now let's take a deeper look at why. Before we get into the Nuggets' hopes of going back-to-back, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 91% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watched it before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. We've had a new champion now for each of the past 5 years. None of the Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, or Warriors could run it back and defend their title. We haven't seen it done since the Warriors in 2017 and 2018. In some ways, it feels as if we're due. Before the Warriors, the Heat repeated in 2012 and 2013, and the Lakers did it in 2009 and 2010. So for this century, we've had a team repeat in each 5-year stretch. But we're halfway through the 2021 to 2025 grouping now, and no team has done it. The Nuggets also happen to feel like the best team since those KD-Steph Warriors, at least in terms of statistical dominance. So if a team could do it, Denver is a very good candidate. But there are question marks. While the team didn't lose any starters, they did lose an extremely important piece and one who is often a closer in Bruce Brown, as well as another playoff rotation piece in Jeff Green. So they returned 6 of their top 8, but will that stretch their depth too thin? They'll be counting on jumps from young guys and impact from rookies to replace the production they lost, which isn't always the best plan. But with a lead guy who takes all of his teammates to another level in Nikola Jokic, it could work out just fine. But on top of the losses they had, it feels as if nearly every team in the West managed to get better, and it's clear teams are reaching for the Nuggets' crown. But they still do have a case as the best team in the NBA, and their success will be determined by the players. So let's take a look at the impact guys for the Nuggets. They have the undisputed best player in the world and reigning Finals MVP Nikola Jokic. He dominated last regular season again, and honestly should have won his 3rd straight MVP award, but voter fatigue strikes again. For the season, he averaged 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists per game, while shooting 63% from the field and 38% from 3. He filled up the box score every single night and was incredibly efficient in the process. He then took it to a completely different level in the playoffs, putting up numbers that we haven't seen since Wilt Chamberlain. He averaged 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists per game, and shot 42% from 3. It was actually insane, and there wasn't a single defense that could slow him down. Even Anthony Davis, who was having one of the best individual defensive playoffs of all time, fell apart when tasked with guarding Jokic. He earned his first Finals MVP in the process, and cemented himself as the undisputed best player in the world. They then have a newly proven superstar and point guard Jamal Murray. Despite being arguably a top 5 player whenever he plays on the playoff stage, he has never been an all-star. In his first season back from a torn ACL, he was good in the regular season, However, it wasn't really the production of a superstar. He averaged 20 points and 6 assists per game while shooting 40% from 3. He was still very good, but nowhere near the production that led the Nuggets to the championship. In the playoffs, he averaged 26 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds, while maintaining 39% from 3. His playoff run was highlighted by a revenge series against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, where he averaged 33 points per game. A player like Murray alongside Jokic will make Denver championship contenders every single year they're healthy together. They're the best duo in the league, and they play perfectly with one another. There are two guys who you could argue are the third best player, but I'll start us off with Michael Never Swing the Rock Porter. One of the most gifted tough shot makers in the league, MPJ may have one of the craziest shot selections out there, but does it at an efficient clip. At 6'10", he can shoot over the top of anyone, and often does. Last season, he averaged 17 points and 6 rebounds per game, while shooting a very impressive 41% from 3. At 25 years old, he's still going to improve, but we'll see quite how high he ends up reaching. Many thought he could be a number one option on offense and perennial all-star. He's never going to be the lead guy in Denver, but he could get up closer to 22 or 23 points per game and get a real all-star case. Then we have to move to Aaron Gordon, who was the last piece of the core four brought to the group in 2021. He's likely the best defender on the Nuggets, and often takes the task of guarding the other team's best wing scorer. He guarded both LeBron and Anthony Davis in the conference finals and Jimmy Butler in the finals. He averaged 16 points and 7 rebounds per game last season, and when you combine that with his defense, many thought he had a legit all-star case last season. He very well might be the team's third most important player, but whether it's him or MPJ, he's irreplaceable nonetheless. He's extremely valuable for Denver and is a big reason why they won the finals. Moving on from the core four guys, we should look at some candidates to replace the production left behind by Brown and Green. I think the obvious player to eat some of that up is second-year wing Christian Braun. He was the last standing impact rookie last season and was given 16 minutes per game in the NBA Finals. At the end of last season, he was in their 8-man rotation. He was a pest defensively, getting steals, and also got fast break points and scored off cuts. He's the biggest candidate to take a jump on this team. Secondly would be 20-year-old forward Peyton Watson. His opportunity to this point has been very limited, but they did take him in the first round last year. It's been said that the team likes him a lot and views him as a guy who could take a step and be a big part of the team. Then the 3 rookies they drafted this year will fight for minutes. Second-round pick Hunter Tyson feels like the favorite to join the rotation, and looks like one of the early steals of the draft. He put up 21 points and 6 rebounds per game in the Summer League with Denver, while shooting 54% from the field and an insane 50% from 3. A 6'8" power forward with a smooth stroke, he's the perfect player to fit alongside Jokic and will eat up open looks from downtown. They took Julian Strawther in the first round, and he's an all-around gadget type in a similar mold to Bruce Brown. They also took Jalen Pickett, who's a score-first guard who could fit in the mold that Bones Highland used to. In terms of lineup, the starters should remain the same, being Murray, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Porter, Gordon, and Jokic. The second unit should be Reggie Jackson, Christian Braun, Watson, Tyson, and Zeke Naji. Guys like Pickett, Strawther, Colin Gillespie, and Justin Holiday could also get minutes. So what should we expect from the Nuggets in 2024? On the low end, they would finish with a top 3 seed in the West and lose in the conference semifinals. It feels impossible to me that the team could lose in the first round without some sort of catastrophic injury. On the high end, the team would finish as the 1 seed and steamroll its way to their second straight NBA title. Expect at least 2 All-Stars in Jokic and Murray. If they're the 1 seed at the break, then they could get a third one with Gordon or MPJ. Despite losing 2 rotational pieces, the team is still arguably the most talented in the whole league, especially the top 4 guys. Depth could be a legitimate concern, but Jokic turns bums into effective role players, so they should survive that just fine. The Nuggets are extremely talented, and despite any doubts, they should be the favorite to win it all again. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.